Hi everyone, I decided to do a second video log. Um, Tonight, I just want to share with you some of my thoughts about being Black in Vancouver. Yeah, um, where should I start? Vancouver has probably a population of 600,000, maybe 650,000. Total number of Black people living in the city, 5,000. 5,000 out of 600,000. That's not even 1%. If you look at Metro Vancouver, there's 2.3 million people, which is about half the population of the province. Total number of Black people, 25,000. These are not good statistics. Um, I'm thinking a lot of Black people don't move here because A, it's expensive as hell. B, if you look at the migration pattern, being in the Pacific Northwest, most people are more likely to go to New York, Atlanta, even Toronto. Um, why am I here? I moved here 2 years ago for a job. The job didn't work out, but I'm actually doing quite well work-wise. Um, for now, I decided to stay. I guess, how do I feel about being Black in a city where there's really not a lot of me? A lot of people looking like me. Practically no one looking like my daughter. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's pretty freaking isolating at times. Um, Being that I grew up right outside of Chocolate City, I had a grandmother who lived in Philly, so when I went to see her during the summer, I pretty much was only around Black people. Um, my high school was quite diverse. I never really had to seek out other people who looked like me. Um, I don't have an identity issue, so I'm not one of these Black people who wish they were white or whatnot. I love being Black. I love my culture. I love my complexion. I think Black is beautiful. I think all races are beautiful, but I'm glad I was born being Black. So being here is a challenge. It's a challenge because there's not a lot of places where I can go get my hair cut. Um, and I had if I had straightened hair, there wouldn't be that many places where I can go get my hair straightened. Um, with the exception of one group, there are really no Black professional groups, and that group just became in existence a year ago. Um, Cuisines, there are, to be fair, there are a few Ethiopian restaurants, a couple West African restaurants if I were to go out to the suburbs, but that's about it. There are a couple Caribbean places, but they're pretty much gentrified and not really serving true local cuisine. My friends and I will make a trip down to Seattle and think that there are tons of Black people there or tons of Black people in Bellingham. And that's really sad because we all know that Seattle and Bellingham are not known as being Black meccas in the US. I just think we're so used to not seeing many Black people here that when we go to the States, we're like, oh my God, we can see more than 400 Black people in one place. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I am tired of um, feeling like I have to represent my race. I am a specialist within the healthcare profession, and I'm the only Black person practicing in my profession in the whole province, which is crazy. But it's a fact, unfortunately. Um, I work with some clients who are quite young, and I'm the first Black person they've ever seen in real life, which is also crazy. So, because I have that knowledge, it's almost like I want to make sure that they like me so they don't have any type of beef with Black people. I know this sounds really crazy, and I normally don't care what other people think, but I just feel like I'm this representative for our group because there's just not many of us here. Another thing I find a little bit crazy is that there because there's just not a lot of black people, I'm used to seeing people of all races hold high positions in society. And unfortunately, I know that there are a few people I personally know in Vancouver who are black that are in high positions, but for the most part, there's just not a lot of black people. And so it's really unfortunate. I just wish that if there was someone that needed a role model or whatnot, I just hope that they have someone in their family or a good neighbor that they can look up to, because it's not going to really happen in the city. Um, there are two types of black people here. You have one group who I have no idea where they're from, but they'll see another black person and like run the other way or look their head down, so they have to look at each other. These people have issues. I'm not going to make it my problem, but it is a bit weird to me to see. Um, Most people though, if I'm black and the other person's black, will do the little head nod, or if they're driving, they'll honk their horn at me so I can wave, or they'll come across the street just to see where I'm from. And I'm not gonna lie, I really engaged in that when I first moved here, because I was just in so much shock that there weren't that many black people here, that it was just nice to have the conversation. But now I do find it a little bit ridiculous that we have to do that. Um, and I maybe I'm now being seen as bougie, but I don't really stop for people anymore just because they're black. And it's not because I don't want to get to know them, but I just feel like I wish there was just more of us here. Um, One thing that annoys me is there are some white women who they're obviously they're not black, and you know I'm not racist, you know I'm friends with everybody, but they will feel the need to try to make me feel better by saying, "Oh, we know there's not that many black people here, but we love black men, and we go down to Seattle to meet the men." I really don't care if you want to date outside your race, but that's really not trying to make me feel better. You're not black, so you don't know what it's like to live in a city where there's pretty much no one that looks like you. They mean well, but it's a weird correlation. I don't even think there is one, but I've heard this 4 or 5 times. Um, I don't like the fact that a lot of people feel the need to touch my daughter's hair, especially since I don't know where their hands have been. And there have been times where I have smacked people's hands to get them off of my child's head. And I guess the lingering effect of that is now that my daughter feels the need to touch other people's hair because she's so used to people touching her hair. I know I'm not going to be in the city forever, but for now, um, it doesn't bother me as much that I belong to a minority group that's really not represented well, or so we're underrepresented. Um, Hopefully, over time, there will just be more of us arriving so we can help dispel some of the questions that people may have. So, like I said before, I really haven't received any openly prejudiced comments or any true racist comments, and I have experienced racism before in the States as well as in Ontario. So I definitely know what it's like. And for all of you out there who think racism doesn't exist, get your head out of the sand. It definitely does. I just feel now maybe I'm rambling, so I'm going to end this here. Um, if you really don't believe me that there's not many black people here, I actually met one of my good friends by typing in on Yahoo because I was just that curious. Where are the black people in Vancouver? If you were to Google it, you'll see her question. And I asked her once if people still respond to her, even though she's been here for years, and she said yes. So we're not the only ones wondering where the black people are. If you know someone who's black and live in Vancouver, you feel free to introduce them to me because, hey, I'm looking to meet other people. Okay? Have a good night. Bye.